Hello and welcome to this small tutorial on how to add a quiz in a course in Moodle. In this case, we are discussing eabhigyan. So I'm again taking the course on geopolitics and I'll show you how to add a quiz. Let me turn editing on. A quiz is also a kind of activity that can be added in a module. So in the same module that I've already created other elements, I'll add an activity, and in that activity I will choose quiz, and once I've chosen that I can add a quiz. So what happens is a shell gets created where I can say this is the quiz, and let me simply copy and paste the name of the quiz in order to save time. So this is the name of the quiz, the title which will appear on the uh, page where it is visible to the participants, and you can also write a small description which kind of explains why this quiz is being given. So let me type that, and by clicking on display on the course page, it becomes something that is used as a reference by the participants. Otherwise, it remains your reference. I can actually specify timings in a quiz in terms of what time it will be kept on or for what duration, but I'll keep this quiz open-ended. So I'll not do anything on the timings. And let me not bother about other things. And I can always click here and say geopolitics as a tag. So what happens is, if somebody is searching on keywords, he may get this quiz when he searches for geopolitics. So let me just save and return to the course. So what happens is I've created a blank quiz here which talks about assessment of learning and a description of why this quiz is there. But there's actually nothing inside it. So if I click on this, you'll notice that it says no questions have been edited. Now I can edit this quiz. Let me edit this quiz. And when I click, I get a blank sheet for adding questions. You notice there is nothing here, and there is something called add here. And the maximum grade is the maximum number of points that can be given for completing this quiz. So let me add a new question. You can add a new question. You can add a question from a question bank, or you can add a random question again from your question bank. So let me show you from the scratch how to create a new question. So I'll create a new question. There are multiple options for the kind of questions you can select. You can select a multiple choice question. You can select a true false question. You can select questions of matching, and so on and so forth. As you get comfortable with creating questions, you will understand which one is most appropriate for you. The common ones are true, false, multiple choice, and matching. So let me take the true, false question first, because I have a few questions which are of true, false. So people only have to say true or false. So let me add this question. And by default, what happens is this, all the new questions that I create get added into a question bank, which is an exclusive question bank of the course. So in my case, it is geopolitics. But I can actually put those questions in a question bank like you. Here I have under system, all the question banks are accessible by all the courses. So these questions can be used in different modules also. So in this case, if I want to uh, put them in managerial competency, I can always put that. And then if I want to put them under general, so let me put managerial competency question bank general. So this is where it is stored. From there, it can be accessed by other modules also. Now, let's say I have a question on currency devaluation. So what I'll do is I'll talk about geopolitics, currency devaluation. And this is the title by which the question can be searched, or you can visibly see this question. And the text of the question is the question that will be asked. So currency devaluation gives an edge to the country exporting any items. So I can put this here. And because it's a true false kind of question, the answer is true. So that gives me, I can even encourage people by saying, well done, if they give the true answer. And I can even say, try again. These are messages that I can give for different responses. I can even give some explanation if I want to explain why a particular answer is right or wrong. So this is a very important tool for people if you want to use quiz as a powerful means. And so I have this question where the answer is true, and I can give an explanation. This evaluation makes your exports stronger. So let me take this explanation of the answer and put it in general feedback. And the default number of points that can be earned by completing this question is 1. So I can change that also if the degree of difficulty is more. And with this kind of thing, I can even tag this question and talk about currency devaluation or geopolitics. So what happens is, in this way I can search for this from a much larger question bank. And so I say save changes. So once I save changes, I get this one question already there. And if I want to preview it, I can actually see what it will look like. It will look like this to the user, and I can test whether I've filled up the right ones or not. If I say fill in the correct response, it says true. Okay, fine. So that is the correct response. So let me close this window. Let me add another question. Again, a new question. Again, let me take true, false. Or let me take another type of question. Let's say multiple choice. And just to show different types of questions, let me add. You get the same things. Now it is in the same default question bank that I had mentioned earlier. And I'll take a question regarding trade barriers. So let me again talk about question name. This is on geopolitics and trade barriers. So this is what I can quickly read. And the text of the question is countries which are likely to favor free trade are. This is the leading line, which comes as a question in the question. This is what I'll write here. And now I have 3 choices. The first choice is export-oriented countries that have trade surpluses. And this is actually the right answer. So what I'll do is I'll pick choice 1. And the grade is I'll give 100% marks for this. This question has only one right answer, so I just pick one right answer and I give 100% marks for that. I could specifically give some ideas to explain the answer further in the feedback, but it's optional, so I'll skip it for the time being. My second choice is that countries that have huge deficits, so I can again pick it up, pick it as choice 2. You get nothing for it, so that's why grade is none. And I pick up the third as it doesn't matter at all whether countries are exporters or importers. And I'll take this as choice 3. And again, you get no grades. In a multiple choice, I can have more than 4 choices. So in fact, already 5 are given as blanks, and I can blank for more choices. And normally it is not required. And for general feedback, if I want to give an explanation for what, why the correct answer is the correct answer, so I'll just pick this up and I'll copy it and I'll just edit, and then I'll just save changes. So I've added 2 different kinds of questions. So in this manner, you can keep on adding multiple questions, and this is how your quiz gets ready. So I hope you have learned how to add a quiz